Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle, where you can check out the new KISW face mask design. Look, as you know, things are a little bit more restricted, and that's going to carry right over to, Black Friday shopping time. But why bother shopping when you can just get a KISW face mask and stuff that stocking? 2 designs, the skull design, which you know about, which is awesome, and the brand new camo design. Oh, yeah. So you can choose from either one of those and make everybody happy. And a portion of each mask sold goes to the Washington State Nurses Association. That's cool. You want more info? You want to buy one of the masks? Got to protect your face. Go to KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Mix. It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Mix. Don't be a loser. Oh, Beat Mix. You're a loser.
It is time to beat Mix, and it's time to pump it up for Monday. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Double bass. Yeah, pump it up. Hopefully that'll get you all pumped up. I mean, it's a Monday. I'm trying, but not a great Sunday. No, I'm trying. Yeah. No, it's this weekend was. Look, I had good parts of the weekend, but then
this weekend kind of felt like a week. Yeah. Like an entire week was crammed into 2 days.
Yeah.
So
it started on Thursday for me. I knew that the news was coming. I knew it just wasn't going to be the Governor Inslee touch football game that was going to be impacted. For Thanksgiving.
For the 6th straight year, you were not drafted to that team.
I wasn't drafted. Aww. But, I know how disappointed he was, but when the governor and Mrs. Governor said, "Hey, listen," I thought, there's going to be more to come.
Oh yeah,
there's going to be more to come. I know slow rolling. I've seen slow rolling. But he didn't tell me that he was going to affect the Seahawks game. I feel like he should have just, should have told us that.
He should have at least let the Seahawks socially distance themselves from that game.
Yeah, that's a fact. Damn.
Gosh, it was awful.
Yeah, it was.
Let's get to our contestant today. We've got Abe in Tenino. Abe, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. For those playing at home, Abe will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Abe, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Which year of the mid-2010s did Pete Davidson start his stint on Saturday Night Live?
2012.
No.
2015.
No.
2013.
No. The Eagles are an NFL team from what city?
Philadelphia.
Yes. Who played Cooper in the 2014 sci-fi adventure Interstellar?
Oh. Tom Cooper, Murphy Cooper, Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Nice job.
What does the internet abbreviation POV stand for?
Point of view.
Yes. What nuts are used to make satay sauce?
What kind of sauce?
Satay.
I I don't know. Cashews?
No.
Almonds?
No.
I don't know.
You can pass. A pedometer measures what?
Speed?
No.
Oh, wait, no, steps.
Yes.
Oh, penis sauce.
Yes. Lisa Bonet played which Huxtable on The Cosby Show?
Denise?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct.
Boy, Abe, you really had a good comeback. My friend, I
Yeah,
have to
right?
say.
He didn't get to all. Whoa. He
Yeah.
didn't get to all the
I'm
questions
going to put
there,
him
but
on hold because he's got some weird noise going on
I
on
know.
his phone.
Yeah, maybe he's got that Bluetooth and he's just breathing into it.
Well, it could be that too, but I don't need no stuff.
Yeah, right.
But good compliments for Abe. Who
Yeah.
I'll probably never put back on the hold off the hold again.
Well, we'll see. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Which year, the mid-2010s, did Pete Davidson start his stint on Saturday Night Live?
2014.
Yes. The Eagles are an NFL team from what city?
I'm a huge fan. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes. Who played Cooper in the 2014 sci-fi adventure Interstellar?
Tom Cruise.
No.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes. What does the internet abbreviation POV stand for?
Made popular in adult films. Point of view.
Yes. What nuts are used to make a satay sauce?
Do it.
Hold on 1 second.
All right.
And there we go.
No.
Peanuts.
Yes. A pedometer measures what?
Steps.
Yes. Lisa Bonet played which Huxtable on The Cosby Show?
Oh, Denise Huxtable.
Yes.
You can do it.
Which animal
Get it.
represents the Taurus zodiac sign?
Bull.
Yes. Optic nerves are needed for which sense?
Vision.
Yes.
Sight.
Yes. What U.S. state are a large portion of Stephen King's novels based in?
Massachusetts.
No.
Oh, crap. Washington.
No.
New Hampshire.
No.
Maine?
Yes.
Damn it, Maine.
But you know what?
Yes.
It's a good thing that you didn't answer that correctly because you didn't get a perfect 10, but Abe only got 6, so you win 6-9. Nice. Sorry, Abe.
Sorry about that, Abe.
Yeah.
Woo!
Another one bites the dust.
Nice game.
Nice.
Nice game.
Another one bites the dust.
So yeah, you figured it out. Congratulations on
I
your
knew
win,
I
man.
thought it was Massachusetts, but I knew it was like one of those places with
with an M in it.
well, one of those like New England-ish places.
Yeah, there you go. That
Yeah.
place up there.
Yeah, somewhere over there.
Well, congrats on your nice win, man.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Steve. So we were talking earlier that Bad Boys for Life won the People's Choice Award.
Yes, very happy to hear that.
And they because they probably, I think, were the only movie that came out this year.
That is very true.
But how about this? It almost was not the franchise we knew. Because Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, of course, made it huge. But man, it almost went in a completely different direction. Before they were cast, a version of the movie was kicking around with John Lovitz and Dana Carvey in the starring roles.
What? I remember hearing something like this, and I feel like I still believe that would have been kind of interesting to see. It's a whole different movie.
A whole different movie. Jerry Bruckheimer, you know him, your buddy that made you a goalie.
He just recognized my goaltending.
Yeah, he said you're the backup to the backup. I mean, he's the he's the guy with all
He's the owner of the Kraken.
Yeah, he's the guy with all the power.
He better be a man of his word.
Jerry Bruckheimer says, yeah, it would have happened, but Dana Carvey backed out.
How pissed off is John Lovitz then? Because he's probably like, wait, I'm out now because Dana Carvey's out? What the hell?
Yeah. And Bruckheimer said he couldn't get the movie made with just Will Smith attached. It wasn't until he added Martin Lawrence that he got the green light, because Lawrence was the bigger star at the time, which is hard to believe that I forgot about. Yeah, Martin Lawrence was the king, and Will Smith just didn't have the cachet at the time.
He was just a sitcom star, maybe done a couple of movies. So then all of a sudden they're just like, hey, yeah, we're not going to put this movie. That's so crazy to think, because Will Smith is on a whole other level now.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Martin Lawrence used to be the man. You know, for a while, he was like the one of the top dudes.
And isn't this didn't Martin Lawrence have like a meltdown?
That
if I remember correctly.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he really? So many people have had meltdowns. If we don't have it on audio, if we don't like Mel Gibson in our box or Christian.
That was like back in '96.
He had a meltdown. He really did.
He ran into the street. He was yelling at cars.
Oh man, I slightly remember this now.
Yeah, this is before the good old days when we had cell phone cameras where people could get a video of anything.
Oh, man.
But I remember it was
with
a
a
big
pistol in his pocket.
because it was at the height of his career. Like he was he was an A-level celebrity.
Well, I wonder
and then
if
all of a sudden just snapped.
I wonder if that's kind of why, I don't know, maybe he needed to take some time off after that, or maybe his career started to ebb, because you haven't really heard much of Martin Lawrence until Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah, because it's at the height of him with this TV show Martin and the Bad Boys films and all that, and he had to be restrained by the police.
Oh, that's not good.
And he was yelling, "Fight the establishment."
Oh, was he?
Yes.
But, at that point, he was the establishment.
Well, no, he was just a cog in the establishment, man.
Oh, you think so?
Well, yeah, he was just an actor having to deal with Hollywood.
Oh, that's
the
tough.
establishment.
When you're the top dog in Hollywood, you're right, man. What a horrible life.
I don't know.
He kind of did a lot between the two, like the going crazy and then Bad Boys.
Oh, yeah, did he have other stuff?
Oh, yeah. He was in National Security, Big Mama's House, Open Season, Wild Hogs.
Oh, yeah, Wild Hogs. I didn't say Road Hogs,
Death
but
at
it's
Her
Wild
Funeral.
Hogs.
Wild Hogs, great movie.
It is a
Can
great
we all
movie.
agree?
Yes.
All right, so...
Is it really? I've never seen it.
What?
It's so good.
Why
John
would I watch
Travolta,
that movie?
Tim Allen, Martin Lawrence, and they all start their own motorcycle club.
William-
Why wouldn't you watch it?
William H. Macy.
Yep.
Well, all right, William H. Macy I would watch.
Dude, that movie's so damn funny. I saw it in the theaters.
What's it get on Rotten Tomatoes?
It should get 99.
Yes.
All right, well, Vicky's going to find out for us.
No pressure.
You don't want to know, man.
Oh, no.
Is
Brett
it
found
98?
Is it 98? Yeah.
It's decidedly lower than that.
What, like 60?
Yeah.
No.
Lower?
Oh,
Whoa. What's the number? Because I didn't hear.
What do you think it is, BJ?
Oh, well, from what I remember, it was badly reviewed, so I'm going to give it 15%.
Damn, you are so close.
Yeah.
14%.
14. Yeah, that makes. When you were saying that, I'm like, I don't think that's the movie Steve's thinking
Maybe
of.
that's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's not a
positive.
good. No, it's not a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I sat here silent. That's why I asked. Let me check the Rotten Tomatoes
Have
before
you seen it?
There was a reason why I have not seen it.
Don't believe the hype.
Audience
Actually,
score.
there is no
And the
hype to
audience
believe.
score.
The audience score, it has almost 400,000 people who reviewed it.
And?
Audience score, 61%.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
It's fresh.
boom.
See, it's
Okay.
about a bunch of old guys who start a motorcycle club and go across the country. You would love it.
Hilarity ensues.
Yeah, they
I
need
would
to pee
love
every
it.
5 seconds.
Now, reading the description, I know now why Danny loves it.
Why?
Because it's a group of suburban biker wannabes looking for adventure, hit the open road, but get more than they bargained for when they encounter a New Mexico gang called the Del Fuegos.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's set in New Mexico, too.
Oh, so that's what it is. Okay.
That's
so.
the only. Don't hold that against it. Despite that, it's a good
Did
movie.
they go to
That's-
this movie? Because that will just make it worse.
Yeah, they piss off this actual like serious motorcycle club and
Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got Ray Liotta in it too.
Interesting.
It does sound like it should be a good movie, but
It has your girl in it, too.
hold on.
From, what's
You
her
might
name?
get me back.
Marissa
John
Tomei.
Travolta.
Marissa Tomei.
Oh, it's got Marissa Tomei as
Yeah.
well.
Really?
Well, this does really sound like it should be a better movie than it
You're
is.
starting to get me in on this.
It should be. It is a great movie. Don't believe the texter just texted in saying Wild Hogs sucked. That person is
Don't
not
believe
right.
that person.
They
Okay.
are wrong.
All right,
You shouldn't
fair
have even
enough.
read that text.
Okay.
It's fake news.
Speaking of this, should we believe anything that Mitch Levy has to say about the Seattle Seahawks?
Well, I don't imagine that he's probably going to be more critical than we are. So maybe so.
You know what, though? What if he surprises us? And
What?
says-
Thought it was a great game?
Yeah, and says there's a reason to be hopeful. Yeah, we lost a tough one against the Rams yesterday, and the divisional rivals were now in third place. Well, we'll talk with the star of Mitch Unfiltered, Mitch Levy. He'll talk all Hawks with us at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Everything is better electrified. Like the guitar, toothbrushes, or cars. And Hyundai has the widest range of electrified vehicles on the market, including the first ever Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. You can use electric when you want it or gas when you need it. It's your journey. Evolve it beyond the pump in the 2022 Tucson or Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle.
BJ, we need to stop this crappy trend of talking after a loss, but please welcome to the show from Mitch Unfiltered, it's Mitch Levy.
That's right. New episode drops today. I'm sure lots of fun stuff talked about on the latest episode of Mitch Unfiltered, which you can get where you can get all podcasts as well as MitchUnfiltered.com. Mitch, what the... And you put any word you want to put in there. Any letter, any word, what the blank.
Can the Seahawks conversation be fun, Miggsy, or not? Is there a way to make it fun this morning?
That field goal was awesome. That's about all I got.
61 yards?
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys except, it's a tough stretch. We knew that they were getting into remember that 5-game stretch that we were talking about after they got to 5-0? Mm-hmm. We talked about the Cardinals and then the 49ers. We thought the 49ers would be better. The Bills, the Rams, and then the Cardinals again, where they're at the end of that 5-game stretch. And there were a lot of people that said to me, hey, Mitch, I'll take 3-2 right now over those 5 games. And I was like, you're 5-0. Why would you take 3-2 over any 5 games? Well, can I have 3-2? Can we go back and and offer that again?
Right? Yeah, especially against divisional teams, man. Of course, you and I, we've always been in disagreement about my crazy little thing about the first 4 games of the season mean nothing, but you were actually basically warning us to not be so excited about this team in those first 4 games because of the defense. And as it turns out, you're absolutely right. Even though they played a better game yesterday, they let them score on the first 3 drives they had, and that irritated the crap out of me because here we are playing from behind again without a running back that we can, that we really like, that really adds to our offense.
Running backs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I saw this coming down the street, and of course we never had the lead in that game, just like we never had the lead in last week's game.
I bristle at you. Your remark is you are in the masses when you said something that makes me bristle, which is their defense was better yesterday. That seems to be the popular opinion late last night and this morning and through the week, that their defenses was better yesterday than it's been. And maybe slightly, but I'm having trouble with that because the truth of the matter is what you just said. The Rams scored on the first 3 possessions. They scored 17 points on their first 3 possessions and did essentially anything that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it seems like the theory is the defense was better yesterday because they only gave up 23 points. We'll explore that a little bit closer. They did nothing in the first half. The Seahawks defense did nothing in the first half. In the second half, they gave up a 14-play, 88-yard drive. That was right after Pete Carroll didn't go for it on 4th down. You guys remember that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And they said, and Pete Carroll decided, and he said after the game, I would do it all over again the same way. Well, you would have the same outcome is what I would tell him, which is the 14-play, 88-yard drive by the Rams. After that, it was pretty clear to everybody watching, including the Rams coaching staff, that our defense is better than their offense today. We're not going to lose this game unless we do something stupid. So if you really go back and explore what the Rams tried to do offensively late in that game, which is the reason why you and everybody else is saying the Seahawks defense played better yesterday, the truth is the Rams were not aggressive offensively late in that game because they felt like they had the game won and they didn't want to do anything stupid. So I question really whether the defense really was better. You want to tell me the defense was better in pass pressure the previous week in Buffalo when they had 7 sacks? I'll dance with you on that.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is when the game was on the line, which is at the beginning of the game, and when these other games are on the line at the end, the defense can't stop anybody. It hasn't been able to stop anybody except really the 49ers all year. And we've talked about the 49ers and how limited they are offensively. Look, they're 6-3. They're fine. Going back to when they were 5-0, really, how disappointed you are today and in the last couple of weeks as a Seahawks fan comes down to one question. What did you really think the Seahawks were to start the season and when they were 5-0. If you were one of the people, which is fine, if you were one of the people that thought, 5-0, Russell Wilson's having an MVP start to the season, and you had kind of blinders on to the defense, and you thought, okay, this is a Super Bowl contending team. This is one of the best teams in football that might win a Super Bowl this year. Then I can understand that you're miserable today after 2 straight losses. If you're somebody like me who thought, okay, they're 5-0, they're a little bit of a fluky 5-0. Remember some of those wins they could have lost very easily. They had a lot of warts, a lot of flaws defensively. And I wasn't so sure that they were anything more than a 10 or 11 looking football team, 10 or 11 win looking football team, a playoff team like they've been in the previous few years where they have a chance to win a playoff game and maybe play in the second weekend of the playoffs. If you thought that they were that, then you really shouldn't be all that miserable this morning because they're still 6-3. They're going to play Washington. They're going to play the Giants. They're going to play the Jets. They're going to play a terrible 49ers team again. They're going to be fine in terms of 10, 11 wins and getting to the playoffs. But, again, I just don't know that they're good enough. They're well-rounded enough, offensively and defensively, to be a real legitimate Super Bowl contending team.
Well, they're not. Without the healthy running backs, Mitch, I mean, that's all we had was the offense. We all knew because of you that the defense was lacking. We just thought the offense would make up for it. And I want to put something out to you and see what your observations are. Here's my big disappointment. My big disappointment is that Russell Wilson, as great of a quarterback as he's become, the one part of his game that seems to be gone is the fact that he cannot get out of trouble like he used to. I mean, I remember the younger days, and it could just be a whole offensive scheme, and maybe he's just told to stay in the pocket longer or whatever. But Russell used to be able to be uncatchable, and now everybody gets to him, and that saddens me because I'm thinking, is he getting old? Is as much as his regimen, he's still not like he used to be. He's very catchable. It's like he used to drive defenses crazy. Yeah. He's not that guy anymore. Is that by design, or has he lost a step?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I think it's a very good point. Although what I would say is don't worry about it. So let me address the first part of it. Is he that you're talking about? I think you're talking about the escapability.
Yes.
Where you look like he looks like he's going down in a sack and he makes a move here and there and he gets away like Fran Tarkington used to. He circles around and he makes a play. Is he that guy anymore? Well, I think he's, I think we might be overreacting to a couple of losses, but yes, I think he still is able to get away, not as well as he did but he's not as young as he's a veteran now. He's been in the league for a long time. He's not as fast. He's not as quick. And I would say to you, yes, you have acknowledged, you have observed correctly that he doesn't get away the way as uncannily as the way he used to. What I would also say though is don't worry about it, because the truth is the offense is going to be fine, BJ. It's going to be fine. That game, and not to pat myself on the back because I get way more wrong than I do right, and I have for 25 years, but that game yesterday went exactly the way I expected it to go. I think I picked 27-20 on the podcast. It was 23-16, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's early. And so, look, that game yesterday was going to be a problem offensively. There was no question about that. You went into a game against the greatest defensive lineman maybe ever to play.
Yeah, you called that.
Okay. You went into a game against a really good front four, a really good defense, a shutdown quarterback in Jalen Ramsey, and you went into that game without a running game, essentially without a running game, and with a backup center playing in his first game. That was a recipe for that offense to struggle yesterday, and they did. At the end of the day, you're going to get the center back. I don't know if you're going to get the 2 running backs or Chris Carson back this week because it's a short week for Thursday night against the Cardinals, but you're going to get the running back, and ultimately, whether Russell Wilson is what you remember him to be or not, he still was an MVP candidate after 7 games, right? Remember that. So I think the offense is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to get some people back. The question is going to be on the other side of the football the rest of the year. Are they going to be able to stop anybody? Early in games, late in games when the games are on the line, are they going to be able to stop anybody? That's the question that's going to be asked until the season ends, I'm afraid.
I feel like every time I watch this team, especially, I know we have some injuries with the secondary and there's guys playing that aren't their starters, but I just feel like they just give the opposing team's wide receivers all the room in the world to make catches. It's like, I don't see any other team playing at that style. And I'm just like, at what point do they realize, look, maybe we shouldn't give these guys that much wiggle room?
It's the most frustrating thing as a football fan that you can watch, right? Your favorite team's defense giving up 12, 15 yards of cushion to the other team's wide receivers so they can just throw the ball out there, right? How many times did you see that yesterday? That Jared Goff would take the snap and just throw the ball out there and the guy would go for 8 or 10 yards. The problem, I think, Miggsy, the problem still goes back to the pass rush. So think of it this way.
Okay.
If you can't get home with the pass rush, how can you play guys aggressively at the wide receiver spot? Because that's just a recipe. Those two things are a recipe for disaster. You better have the best corners in the league, which they don't, and they're playing with backup corners, right? They're going in with their starting corners are supposed to be Dunbar and Shaq, and neither of them played yesterday. So you've got a front four that can't get pressure on the quarterback. So think about how long, if you're playing up against those wide receivers without cushion, think about how long they've got to cover. So you got to pick your poison. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback, then you better play a little bit off of those receivers and keep them in front of you. Yeah. If you can get pressure, if you're the Rams and you've got Aaron Donald and you've got a front four that gets pressure, well, now you can, and you've got Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners in the league, well, you can get up on the other team's receivers because you don't have to guard them long. You don't have to cover them long, right? I think that's the issue. That's the catch, whatever, that the Seahawks have defensively.
Those are very, very good points, Mitch, because I really didn't put those two together, but you're absolutely right. That we saw the difference between, a defense that can get after the quarterback and allowing the corners to do what they do. And then we saw a defense that can't, and then corners that aren't even the starters who basically can't do what the Rams corners can do.
Right. And the other thing I would say to Miggsy is this. You've heard the expression, bend, don't break defense.
Yeah, we've heard that.
You hate a bend, don't break defense. Unfortunately, you got to live with that here in Seattle because you got your choice. Your choice is essentially, if we get up and we get in their face and we can't get pressure, these drives are going to be 1 or 2 plays and a touchdown. We'd rather play back, keep them in front of us, see if they, make them work their way down the field. See if we can hold them to a field goal instead of giving up a big play down the field because we can't get to the opposing team's quarterback.
And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly right. The first three drives of the game. That's right. That's what I was thinking, Mitch. I was like, well, a field goal is okay because usually our quarterback can get down there and score 7. So if they're only scoring 3 and we're scoring 7, fine. That's the problem is our guy's not going down there and scoring 7.
That's correct. And but the one thing yesterday was they scored 3 on their first drive and then inexplicably, maybe the Rams didn't wake up or didn't show up until a little later, but inexplicably, the Seahawks in their first offensive drive, they went right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone. And I was like, whoa, it's 7-3. But that was the last good drive of the game that they had, the very first drive of the game that resulted in 7 for the Seahawks.
And you're right. I totally forgot we actually had the lead for a little bit. I totally
7-3.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. It feels like we haven't had the lead in like 3 games.
If we stopped counting after that, we would have won.
Yeah, you know what? If we could have just done that, man. They're calling that for other places in life. Why not here?
A lot of people are texting about how upset they were about the 4th and inches play. One person said, what a bonehead move. Another person like, what does Mitch think about that 4th and inches call?
Well, it's the talking. It seems like it's the talking point of the game, and it's interesting that Pete Carroll doubled down after the game yesterday. He said, look, this is what I wanted to do, and I do it the same way all over again. It doesn't make sense, does it? What you're really saying there is, so let's describe the situation for your listeners that might not have been watching closely. So you come out of halftime and it's 17-13, I think.
Yep.
17-13. The Seahawks get the ball. They get, I think, a first down or 2, and they get to, I think, in the 40s. I think that they were at their own 40, 42, 45-yard line, and it's 4th and inches, and you're behind. And at that point, for all you people that think that the Seahawks defense played better yesterday, at that point, you haven't really stopped the Rams. They have done, because it's the first possession of the second half, and they've done anything they've wanted in the first half, right? They scored the 17 points. So You've got a decision to make, right? It's 4th and inches, what Miggsy's talking about and what the listeners are talking about. Are you going for it on 4th and inches? Well, you've gone for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3 in similar situations the whole year because you've changed, right? You're going to let Russ cook, so you're going to give him the opportunity. When you decide to punt the ball there, what are you really deciding? What are you really choosing? You're saying, I trust my defense more than I trust my offense.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're saying. Now think about the insanity of that decision. What gives you the right, Pete Carroll, for as great of a coach as you've been all these years, what gives you the right this year at that moment to trust your defense, to trust that let's pin them down. By the way, we've got a punter who is great at pinning the other team's back. Yeah, they do. And by the way, how does that work out after they pin them down there? How does that work out all year?
That's useless with a bend, don't break defense.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what he's saying there is we trust our defense to hold them deep in their own territory more than we trust our offense to get 6 inches or 3 inches or 5 inches. That was a terrible decision. The way the season now, look, if you've got the Baltimore Ravens of 2000 or you've got the 1985 Bears where you've got this incredible defense, which is great when you pin the other team back. Okay, I get it. It's early in the game. We're going to come out of this smelling like a rose. We're going to pin them back. They're not going to get a first down, and we're going to get the ball back and be in position to score. I get all that. Traditionally, he made the right move, but he's got to make that move based on what he's got, and what he's got is a defense that can't stop anybody. And what happened, Miggsy, after he punted and pinned him down? By the way, the punter did his job.
Yeah.
He pinned him down at the 12-yard line, and the Rams went 88 yards in 14 plays and took a 23-13 lead in the game.
Mitch, do
and
you
the game
think
was over. It was a bad decision. It was a horrible decision, and it's still a bad decision.
Do you think he's protecting somebody else in that respect? Because I feel like that the coaches should know what they have and make the adjustment because, as you said, it doesn't matter field position when your defense can't stop anybody but hold them to a field goal. So who cares? At that point, you're giving Russ more snaps if you let him go on 4th a lot because field position doesn't mean anything to a team that can't stop anybody.
Right.
You know, if you're a red zone team, then you stop them on the red zone. Who cares where they start? You're just going to stop them in the red zone and give them 3, right?
If my father were alive today, BJ, he would say what you're doing right now, Mitchell, what you're doing, I can hear him say it in my mind. What you're doing is you're injecting logic into an illogical situation. Stop being so logical.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Remember one thing about your head coach and your quarterback. And it's part of the reason that makes them great. And it's also the reason that makes them different from you and me. Okay? They're living in la-la land. Your quarterback and your coach, your Hall of Fame coach and your Hall of Fame quarterback, both of them who brought this town a Super Bowl. So I mean to say no disrespect about what I'm going to say. The two of them live in la-la land. They don't really get what they've got. Okay? Pete Carroll thinks that his defense is a lot better than B.J. Shea thinks.
Yeah,
and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He can't remove him. That's his defense, right? Those are his guys, my guys. They live in a fantasy world, and it's part of what makes their lives probably a lot better than Miggsy, B.J. and Mitch. So God bless them. Okay, I'd like to live. I'd like to have, as they said when Harry Met Sally. I'd like to have a little of what they have.
Yeah.
But the truth is, he doesn't. I don't believe that Pete Carroll fully. He knows he's struggling on defense. I don't mean to suggest that he thinks that his defense is like the top defense in the league, but he just thinks that they're a lot closer to being good than we do.
Yeah.
And so he's making decisions in his world as opposed to BJ's world. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, and I hope he's right because he's the guy that has a lot more experience in that whole world than I do. I hope a moron like me doesn't actually see things better than he does because that's not good if it's true.
Right. Well,
in
certain regards, you are more realistic than he is. Look,
Well, we're gonna talk to you Thursday because we got a short week.
I have so much more to say. I guess I'll have to say it on the podcast.
Well, you got your podcast. It drops. Yeah, it drops today, right?
Perfection.
It dropped.
It dropped.
Come on,
you got to
BJ.
leave. Yeah, that's what I thought. It dropped. Everything's dropping.
dropped.
Yeah, and so if you want to hear more of what Mitch has to say about it, please go check MitchUnfiltered.com or wherever you get podcasts. Mitch Unfiltered.
They're censoring me, ladies and gentlemen. They're censoring.
We're holding you back, man.
We're holding you back.
Let Mitch cook. Let Mitch cook.
We're not letting Mitch cook. We're not gonna go for it on Mitch and Inches. We're just not gonna do it.
They're gonna be okay. I can't promise you they're gonna win on Thursday night. They might win on Thursday night, but ultimately they'll be in the playoffs and they'll be okay. They won't be great, but they'll be okay.
You're right. I don't know why I feel so disappointed about a playoff-bound team, but I do. I guess because we have been here before. Well, we'll see what we have to say on Friday morning because that's the next time we'll talk to Mitch after Thursday Night Football this week. MitchUnfiltered.com. Mitch, thanks, buddy.
Thank you, boys.
All right, there we go. So here's a question for you, and we will get off the football and on to these parents. Why would these parents name their newborn after their internet provider? Yeah, they did. I'll tell you all about this at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another listener question. How do I rebuild my credit after filing bankruptcy?
You rebuild it, one creditor at a time by making your payments on time on your rent or your mortgage, by continuing to make car payments on a car that you keep during your case. You can also, as I said, you can almost always get a credit card almost immediately after filing bankruptcy. Sometimes it's a secured card, and it'll almost always have a really high interest rate on it. But you could get a small balance credit card and charge a tank of gas or a dinner once a month on that and make the payment, pay it off every month, and that'll help you build a credit history one creditor at a time, and will help you rebuild your credit over time.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top-Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.